Hey guys. It's that. Cassie found something here. It's the size of a nickel.
Buffalo nickel. Give me the fufu juice.
Oh! I gotta keep digging some more here and see what else we can get. I found myself a bucket lister. I got a crotal bell.
It's a Wheatie.
You found a Wheatie?
Yes.
Sweet. A Walking Liberty 1943 $half. Oh my god, it's freaking gorgeous. You got an Indian? Oh my god, Cassie got an IHP. Needless to say, I am a happy camper. Good morning, everybody. It is a cloudy morning. It looks like it might get sunny. I think it is supposed to get sunny a little bit later. We're going to try to get out metal detecting this morning. It is wet. It rained last night. I got a chance to get out for about an hour, if that. It might have been closer to 45 minutes yesterday. I was trying to beat the rain after I got done with some other stuff. Got out. It wasn't raining. 5 minutes later, it started sprinkling, and it just got progressively worse. I managed to make it at 45 minutes, maybe an hour tops, trying to stay underneath some evergreen trees in the area, do the best I could. Didn't work out the greatest, and finally I was to the point where I was absolutely soaking wet. So I had to skedaddle and get home, and the rain was coming down harder and harder, and about 10 minutes after I got home, it kind of tapered off and got semi-sunny again. That is my lot in life, I guess. But it did thunderstorm last night here, and everything is all wet. It's 7:14 in the morning. I'm trying to get out, have some fun anyway. I'm in a different car today. I'm actually in my car instead of my daughter's little Toyota Matrix that I usually use because it's much easier to clean. Also has a lot of miles on it, and we don't necessarily care as much about it getting a little bit of mud in it. It's easy to clean up. I don't really like getting mud in this. That's why I don't take it metal detecting. But it's on loan right now, short term. And that does kind of make me, it raises something that I have to share, and I hope you guys feel the same way. It is a privilege at the moment to have a vehicle, to have choices like that, because there's a lot of people out there going through rough times that don't have that choice. There's a lady in my own neighborhood, you know, mile and a half away, but you know, in my general neighborhood, single mom with kids. She had a car die and had no way to get around either. She was struggling there for a bit. My own sister down in northern Louisiana. So listen up if you happen to be in northern Louisiana or southern Arkansas. She no longer has a functional car. And she has a daughter. She lives out in the middle of nowhere in a rural country area. She has to be able to get her daughter to school. The bus barely comes out there, and if it does, it's super early in the morning. You know, it's a struggle when you're out like that and no place to get, no way to get around, no way to get groceries and stuff like that. So if anybody has something in that area, this is end of April 2022, that they could offer up to her either super cheap or just giveaway. I mean, just, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just something that runs and drives and get from point A to point B fairly reliably without having to repair it every other day. That's all she needs right now. She's working on something, but that's all she needs. So if somebody in the area has something, go for it. My daughter's car, which she doesn't have her license yet, so she's not driving it anyway, is on loan to a friend of the family. Young lady, just got a new job. She's working 3 till 11. Absolutely fantastic young lady. Hard worker, beautiful person. You can't ask for better. She's trying to save to get a car of her own. Getting awfully close, just not there yet. And, you know, having to take Uber rides or taxi rides at 11 at night, these days, I'm not trying to single out Uber drivers or anything like that, because there's some great ones out there. But every profession you have, there's going to be somebody that ruins it. I mean, you can have somebody that's into knitting and crocheting that's ruining it for everybody else, unfortunately. That's the way the world is right now, it seems. So there are those few out there that have kind of made it so that it is... when you're having to watch somebody that's very young like this drive themselves to trying to find a spot to park here, rely on somebody else to take them to you know, home from work at 11 o'clock at night. It's really scary, the thought of what could happen. So, yeah, I loaned her my car, or my daughter's car, for a short bit while she gets one of her own. But anyways, I'm rambling. I'm at the spot where I'm going to go metal detecting. It's the spot called the Field of Dreams. It's up higher, so hopefully the water has drained off. Let's get out there and see what we can find. Alrighty, first couple of signals were garbage. Pull tab, a little Miller Lite can. This was coming up at 20, and it looks to be something somewhat interesting. It showed deep, so I decided to dig it. Let me take a toothbrush to this and see if I can figure out what it is. I'm not real sure. Okay, still at a bit of a loss. It looks less interesting. It's heart-shaped, but it just... by coincidence, I think. We'll clean it up more when I get home, but interesting. I'm not sure what it is. It feels brittle, though. And look at this crusty breaking off right there. So just in case it's something decent, I'll treat it a little careful. Alright, don't know what we're going to find here, but we have a deep signal that was coming in somewhere near the dime range. So we're going to go looking for it together and see what we can come up with and hope it's not junk. And I do not like the fact that it's already off center. That could just be freaking iron falsing. Either that or I'm pinpointed really badly. Let's find out. Oh, there's something down there. It is a penny. That is a foreign penny. What does that say? I can't tell what that says, can you? Oh wait, that's a dime. Doggone it. A freaking dime. A clad dime. No way. Probably a 65 too. Yes, oh my god, it is. It's a 65 dime. We just live dug a 65 dime. How much of a... That is the special mint mark, the FU mint mark, as Kurt says. Wow, I just got a 65 dime. That's pathetic. Okay, let's keep going. I think this is my second bullet today. It's a big old sucker. It's like a, I don't know, 40 caliber or something like that. I think that's bigger than a 9 mil. It's a big sucker. Hollow point. Lovely. Hate finding these in the city, to be honest. Okay. This is just going to be a weird day, I can tell. You're not going to believe this. You know the 8-inch deep FU mint mark dime that I found? I had one that was an inch deep that was... I almost passed it over and I'm like, easy pocket change, what the heck. I think it's silver. It's just a rosy, but I think it's silver. Let's take a look. There it is right there. I mean, my plug is literally that deep. Not even an inch. And look at that. It is a 1950 rosy. Is that crazy or what? Nice. I will take that. You know, you never know where you're going to find it, but I'll take a little silver for the day. That's awesome. Alright, let's play the what is it game. This one was deep. It was down in that corner over there. I kind of mispinpointed it a little bit, but I can see the front of it, but I don't know what the back of it is because the dirt's still stuck to it and it's very green. I see it is a Jefferson. What is the date? A 65. So no wheat. I was thinking that we might have found a wheat, but there's another 65. Huh, that date is following me today apparently. Alright, trying something different. I usually run my Equinox in Park 1 with some with 50 tones and some fairly minor settings like ground balance. I bump my iron discrimination up depending on the need. I set my sensitivity up pretty high and my recovery about midways up about a 5 or so. I think that's what it is. I never try field. So this time I'm trying something different now that I've been in this place for a little bit. A couple of hours. I bumped over to field 2 and we're going to see what we can find there. And 2 steps in I found myself a 1962 Canadian penny. So, well, at least there's something. So let's keep going and see what else we can find. I think I might give it another hour or so, and then it's going to get hot and I need to get out of this sweatshirt. And I am okay with that because I'm desperately in need of some really, really warm days. Let's keep going. Okay, look at my hole there. There's a little pocket off to the side. I thought I might have mispinpoint. Well, I did mispinpoint. I thought it might have been iron because iron has a tendency to do that. But I did end up pulling out a coin. It is Canadian of some sort. See if we see anything on it. Whoa, look at that. It's a 1932 Canadian penny. That's way cool. I'll take that. Heck yeah. This field mode appears to be doing pretty darn good. That pulled that out with no problems. It does say 32, doesn't it? Or is that an 8? No, that's a 3, all right. Yeah. I'll be dang. That's all right. I like that. Alrighty, getting ready to head to the car. I'm just, 100 feet from it. Found myself another wheat penny. What do we got here? 1942. We'll take it. One more for the pile. Nice day so far, really nice day. I didn't realize it was the first of the month either. And just like that, we are done. Not a lot of footage there, was it? The Saturday I couldn't really film because it was raining, and after you start digging your first hole, you get muddy and everything. It's really hard to mess around with a phone or a camera or anything like that. And the next day I was only out a couple hours, so I really didn't have that much footage to offer, but we got, in that limited amount of time, some really interesting stuff. Some of the interesting items I got was from the day that you guys didn't see when it was raining. So I guess let's hop to it and I'll show you what we ended up with. And there's the pile of stuff. Starting up here, this was interesting. I thought it was a lamp part, and it ended up being a lamp part, just not the kind I was expecting. This is, if you look down in there, there's threads for a modern lamp base. And then a couple of inches away, I found this. This is just the part where your string goes through for like a lamp where you pull the string, and this would have mounted to that when it wasn't squished. So, parts of a lamp, I guess. That sounded awesome. It was about a foot down. It's just a piece of old pipe. Got my golf ball. Always got to find my golf ball. That's the heart-shaped thing that I found. It turns out to be just, I believe it's just garbage. Just junk. But it looked cool for a bit. A couple of bullets. Have no clue what this is. I thought it was a vape thing at first, but really doesn't look like a vape thing. There's no switches to operate, nothing. It has holes like you fill it. The bottom doesn't come off, it doesn't turn. The top, if you pull just right, will come off. See if I can get it to come off here, one-handed. Nope, so I'm going to use the other hand. Hang on, bear with me. And if you take it off, that's what it looks like inside. And that's what this looks like inside. It looks like foam or something. This kind of reminds me like of one of those hand warmer things that you put lighter fluid in, but I don't know. I don't know how those things work. So if anybody has any clue what that is, let me know. Some zinc, some clad, part of a nice little spoon here. Let's see if I can get a background on this so that it shows. I think I had it right side up the first time around. What does that say? Pearpoint Manufacturing Company 3. This, from what I can find, could go back as far as 1880, this design, which is really cool. I wasn't expecting that. It's mangled, of course, silver plate, but very cool nonetheless. There's the 65s that I got, the infamous mint mark on those, some 66s. Got my silver for the day, the 1950 Rosie, about a ½ an inch down. Got a couple of wheats. Got a couple of older Canadians, including that 32 Canadian that was really cool. Check that out. Pretty interesting. I like that. Pretty crusty too, though. And this I didn't show you guys because I found it the prior day. If you take a look at this, at the back of it there was a pin attachment, and if you look at the front, there's an athlete. See if I can get you steadied here. Look in the background carefully. Come on, focus for me. What are you doing? What's my camera doing? There it goes. It's still not working. There we go. Look in the background. There's like a little stadium there, like a Coliseum maybe, like an Olympiad, an original, and it has Greek letters that basically just say Beta Kappa Beta. So Greek letters that spell out Greek letters. I could find no organization called Beta Kappa Beta, but I did post this on ID Me, and I'll post right here what somebody showed me, which is the closest I've found to anything that looks like this at all. And that Beta Kappa Beta was a organization for Olympic workers back in like Warsaw, Poland in like 1950s or something like that. Which is, if this is something that is truly from something like, you know, a Olympic workers group from Warsaw, Poland, it does beg a question. How did it get to Southwest Michigan? What is the story behind this? I'd love to know. If anybody can find any additional information out on this, let me know. I search high and low, and there's not much out there that I could see whatsoever that has this image on it, much less the image with the Beta Kappa Beta, or anything about Beta Kappa Beta. Everything wants to try to, you know, point you to a fraternity or a sorority, and that's not what I'm looking for, and I'm pretty sure that's not what this is. So really interesting. In 3 hours to be able to find this, you know, that Canadian penny, some silver and all that, and a golf ball, I'm okay with that. That's a pretty good 3 hours. Temperatures are warming up. Hopefully I'll be able to get out more and get you guys a little bit better content. That's what we have so far though. So even with limited time, you can get out there and find good stuff. So if you're discouraged by not having enough time to get out, or a lot of time to get out, make use of what you've got, because if you don't make use of it, you won't find anything. So go out there and find some stuff, and let me know what you're finding. Talk to you guys later.